All right, Lawrence, we're gonna start in five, four, three, two, one.
Welcome to Victory Lane. I'm your host, Reverend Lawrence Gray, and we're going to continue with the reading of my book, Three Pennies from Hell to Heaven. We're on page 163. God works in his own time. Well, it's about time for him to do something. I've been waiting forever. Dirk, that's just what we have to do, is wait for him to do what he does. Well, I sure hope he hurry up. I'm tired of waiting. Hurry up. Yeah, me too, but ain't nothing we can do about it. So you say. I mean, what you gonna do? I need to go and rob me a bank and go back to the penitentiary? If that's what it takes, it's not worth it. I know. That's why I haven't done it already. But don't you think I ain't been thinking about it? Yeah, I thought about it too. Head, you know how to do it and get away with it, don't you? Whatever gave you that thought? Because you were the brains. You knew how to pull a job off and plan everything. That was back in the day, Dirk. I don't think like that no more. That's bull, Negro. You always thinking about how to get some money. Yeah, but it ain't the same. I mean, the way we were back then. Tell me the truth, Head. You know how we can make some money, don't you? Well, I've been having this idea for the past few years. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You think things out and make sure that the plan is carried out right. Dirk, that was back in the day. It's a new time, and what worked then may not work now. Yeah, I know. It's a new day, and you figured out even still how to do it in this new day, haven't you? Even so, Dirk, we don't have the same crew as we had back in the day. How many people would you need? At least three, but five would be just right. Well, you got me, and let's see. See, you can't even count from me to you. Well, let me see. I can always call Jack and Mitch. Bugs is dead, and Jughead is strung out. See, see what I'm talking about, Dirk? Even if they were all available, we still couldn't pull off anything because what would what rather what would come down after the job was poor? I mean, when we did work back in the day, everyone was on the same page. I don't know where Jack and Mitch is at. I know where they live. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about their frame of mind as of today. People change, you know. Oh, them Negroes would still be game to make some money. Whole lot of people game, but do they have the moxie? It was hard counting on Mitch back then. Can you imagine what it would be like now? Heck, I don't even want to entertain the thought of what you're talking about. And besides, I can't trust any of them, not even you. What? You mean you can't trust me? What I mean is just what I said. I don't know how you would act or what you're going to do. I'm going to do what's necessary to get the money. That's not what I'm talking about. Then you tell me what you mean. I mean that even if I had a job and you tell the truth, I do. I knew it. I knew it. I can't trust you or anyone else in the clique in the respect that when we get away, how you or how they gonna act with a whole lot of money in their possession. You got thousands of dollars sitting in front of you. How long you gonna sit on it before you start spending? As long as it takes. Well, maybe, but I don't know that. I don't know that about you or anybody else, and I haven't been to the penitentiary yet, and I don't plan on going behind pulling a big job and getting busted just because somebody is spending money so freely, or even worse, somebody gets busted and snitch me out. No, it's not worth it. Not to me. I'd rather get this welfare money, and I'm tired of getting it because it's not enough. And so I got another plan altogether different, and it's legal and it's legit. What is it? It's called work. We both laugh. I mean it, Dirk. I ain't about going to jail behind trying to live the easy life because we both know that there's nothing in life that's easy. If it were, we wouldn't be out here homeless. Yeah, You're right. And let me tell you something else. What? You ain't homeless. Whatever. Ain't no whatever. That's a matter of opinion. Anyway, here, tell me something. Tell me something else. What? What kind of job you had in mind? It really don't matter, Dirk, what it was I had in mind because we not. I'm not going to do it. I just wanted to know. Let's just let it go. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm going to go around to my cousin's apartment and see if I can spend the night. I'm kind of tired. All right, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, Dirk, hang tight. Man, I'm going to hang any way I can. Tight, loose, or whatever, trying to survive in this mother. Yeah, I know. See you later. Later. I strolled around the corner from the alley where Dirk had made his camp. It happened to be that it was only 2 blocks away from where Otis lived. It was about 8:30 at night, and I was kind of hoping that whoever the night clerk on duty was did not know or remember that I was not allowed to visit overnight for at least a few more days till the end of the month. I rang the doorbell, and Otis answered it. Who is it? I said, Lawrence, and he buzzed me in. The clerk looked at me as I signed in under a false name, rode the elevator to the third floor, knocked on the door. Otis asked me how I was doing. I said, okay. He and Slim were getting high. I asked Otis, did you pay Slim his $50? Yeah, I did. Slim smiled and said, and I want my other 50 tomorrow. I said, what? What are you talking about, Otis? Otis said, I got some crack on credit. Another $50? Um, mm. Slim looked at me with a silly smirk on his face. Hey, Lawrence, if he want it and I got it, I'm going to sell it to him. Yeah. I said, I understand that, but at least you should sell him something that's worthwhile. I'm not forcing him to buy it. I admit that it's not what you would get on the street, but then again, you don't have to go out trying to find somebody to buy dope from. And besides that, they got all that phony stuff out there, and you don't know if you're getting the real or not. Whatever. I was kind of pissed off that Otis would be broke real soon, and I didn't have any money. I was hoping to survive off his money till we both get our checks because it was a long way till welfare check day. Otis said, do you want to hit, Lawrence? I said, nah, I don't want to get started knowing I can't get high the way I want to. And besides that, I don't know if the receptionist is gonna call me out when it's time to go to sign out. You know your overnight visits are all used up. Yeah, I know. Let's see. Let's see what happens when the time comes. Slim said, I ain't waiting around for that because I don't want nothing happening to me to stop me from coming over here and doing my thing when I want to. I said, yeah, I'm sure, especially how you milk Otis out of his money. I'm not twisting his arm. The heck if you ain't. It's called crack. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Otis, I'll be by about 11. I need my money. I gotta handle some business, and you better have my money. Otis said, okay, Slim, I'll make sure I have it. He walked out hurriedly to the door and closed it without saying another word. In the street language, it said a whole lot. Have my money or else there's going to be some trouble. There was nothing I could do about it. If Otis wanted to be punked out of his money and just give it away for little of nothing with the little hit of crack he got for his money, then it was his decision and it was out of my hands. That's why Slim walked away with the confidence of knowing he was going to get paid $50 the next day. I had to respect the game, even though it was wrong. But if Otis liked getting screwed, then I had to love it. Not literally, but that's just the way it works in the streets. The intercom came on and the lady said, it's time for your visitor to go home. Otis ran to the intercom box and said, okay, okay. He turned and looked at me and said, I'm sorry, Lawrence, you got to go. I said, it's cool, Otis. I'll see you probably tomorrow. I'll walk you down. Okay. I stood out front, smoking a cigarette, figuring out my next move. No chair house, I thought. No shelter, it's too late. No bus ride, didn't feel like it. So I decided to do what Dirk said I had to do to really be homeless, sleep on the street. I rang Otis' doorbell. He came to the intercom. Who is it? I said, it's me, Lawrence. Lawrence, I can't let you in. I'll get kicked out and lose my place. And I don't want to lose my place. I can't let you in. I said, stop getting all crazy, Otis. Open the window and throw me out a pillow and a blanket. Okay. I walked around the corner to the alley behind Otis' apartment, parked at the window edge of the Burlington Coat Factory on the cement. I made my bed as a voice on the other end cried out. He was someone I really needed at the time. He roared, I told you that you got to lay down on these bricks. I told you you got to lay down on these bricks if you really want the experience of being homeless. I said, yeah, I guess I do, because this is where I am at tonight. It's not that bad, Lawrence. You'll see. If you're gonna write that book the right way about being homeless, then you have to sleep on this cement brick. I said, yeah, Dirk, you're right. It's not a big, it's not as bad as you might think it is. I've been doing this for years, off and on, especially since I ostracized myself from the family back when that happened. Ostracized? Yeah, Negro. Yeah, Negro. You think you're the only one that can use big words every now and then? I know some, and I don't know many, but I do know some. We laughed as I adjusted myself to the hardness of the cement. The comfort of it was that because we were on the window edge, we had the hardness of the window itself to support our backs. I was on one end and Dirk on the other. Now, here, I got to tell you that it ain't the nicest place to lay down, but you got your freedom along with the stars and the moon, and you see it's not in lit up in the lit up part of the city. I mean, we got this alley, and the only lights we have are those at the end of the corner, and the people who live across the street in those warehouse apartments. People really live in those warehouses? Yeah, I was surprised too, but I understand why now that I got a look. Now that I got a look at one of them. Oh yeah, I mean they are huge, and you got all this room. You'll see one of them open it up, and drive off and go to work. Okay. Now, like I said, it gets uncomfortable during the night sleeping on this brick, but we'll be okay. See, now I got somebody to watch my back, and you got somebody to watch your back, because sometimes you'll sleep and I'll be awake, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Kind of like jail, except we got our freedom. We sellies. Okay, Dirk, I understand. Even though I never did any real hard time, I had been to jail on occasion, and I knew from the time that I was there that you and your cellie, your roommate, had to be close, or at least in most instances, so that you can cover each other in case of something happens. You and your cellie looked out for each other, helped each other, talked to each other, counseled each other. You became brothers. If you get food, your cellie get food. If you need something, he got it, then you got it. It was almost an automatic, unwritten rule. Dirk had my back and I had Dirk's back. The best part about being homeless outside Sully's was that we knew each other, and our friendship was bonded like Elmer's glue, crazy glue, and any other kind of glue. We had each other's back. So how you coming along with that book? You know what, Dirk? I'm just about finished. Like I said before, I got a few more pages to write, and then it's done. Then what? Yeah, that's the part I got to figure out, but I don't know exactly how to get it done. Head, I know you're gonna get it done. It may take some time, but I know you're gonna figure it out. Yeah, I will somehow, some way. Yeah, you got to get it published, right? Yeah, I do, but first I got to get somebody to edit it and look it over. Who gonna do that? I don't know, Dirk. I don't know which way to go after I finish writing, after I finish typing it. Like I said, Head, you'll figure it out. Yeah, I know. I just got to finish it and then go from there. You let me know what I can do to help you. I mean, that is if I can. Okay, okay. So, how long you plan to live this so-called homeless life? Probably about another month. Yeah, this is August, and after September it starts getting cold here in San Francisco, especially where we are near the bay at Fisherman's Wharf. I could imagine. I mean, it gets real freaking cold. The fog and sometimes the rain, it ain't nothing nice. I wouldn't wish it on my own mother. And you know I hate her. There you go again, hating your mother, hating your father, hating your brother, hating yourself. Will Lawrence, that's just how I feel. I mean, I do love them, but at the same time, I hate them. I hope you get over that crap because that ain't cool. Ain't cool what they done to me. Ain't cool what you did to them. We sat in silence for a long while as we both replayed the live action episode of that horrific day. Neither he nor I wanted to talk about it, but we both were thinking it. I could see it in his eyes as he looked at me, seeing it in my eyes. We were both translated back to that warm summer of 1971. I remember it was like it was yesterday. I was driving down 3rd Street and got pulled over by the police. They ran a warrant check on me and found out that I had not paid some parking tickets and that I needed to see the judge in order to get things straight. It was on a Friday afternoon. The news was buzzing all throughout the neighborhood that Dirk killed his brother, Mac. I couldn't understand it for the life of me how Dirk or why Dirk would kill his younger brother, one of the twins, Jack and Mac. Why did Dirk kill Mac? That ran in my mind as I was taking my ride downtown to 850 Bryant Street going to jail. They rolled me into the holding cell waiting to be processed. I knew that it would take forever to get mugged, fingerprinted before I would be allowed upstairs into the main population and get a cot with a blanket and a pillow. I hated that part of being busted, waiting for the comfort of getting into a cell. You would think one would hate even being in jail, but after a while, you are there, you've been there, or rather, after you have been there for a few times, you get used to the process of or become tolerant of it. After many hours of waiting to go upstairs, the cell door opened to let us out of the walls of the cement benches where there was absolutely no comfort whatsoever. At least now I would get some kind of solitude and relief from the hardness of the granite. We walked down the elevator that would lead us to the general population of all the inmates waiting to go to court, or those who were already there serving time, and those who were waiting to go and serve their sentence in the penitentiary for the crimes they committed. The door opened and I marched in to the place to get my pillow and my linen, a blanket and 2 sheets and a pillow. From there, I was led to my new home, my jail cell. As I was walking down the corridor of the cement and still a voice yelled out to me, hey Lawrence, it was Dirk. I said, hey Dirk, what happened? He said, Lawrence, it was an accident. It was an accident. The guard shouted, keep it moving, keep it moving. No talking to the other inmates. Keep it moving. I said, Dirk, we'll talk at dinner. He said, yeah, okay. As we all gathered together for dinner, sitting at the tables, Dirk and I deliberately made our way toward each other, making sure that we were sitting at the same table facing each other. It seemed that we, without speaking, wanted to look at each other in the eye. After all, the truth is in the eyes, and the eyes don't lie. Undisputed truth, smiling faces. Neither one of us barely touched our food as we talked. I said, Dirk, what happened? Is it true? Did you kill Mac? He said, Lawrence, it was an accident. What do you mean it was an accident? Did you kill Mac? I was full of that dope. I didn't mean to kill him. Close that door. But Dirk, he's dead. I know, man. I really messed up this time. I killed my brother. Dirk, how did that happen? I can hardly remember, man. It was so fast. I got mad at Jack and Mac, and then I went and got a gun and came back and shot Mac. I was full of that dope, Lawrence. I was not in my right frame of mind. Yeah, you're right. You got that right. Man, Dirk, that's jacked up. I know, I know. I pulled the trigger, shot, and then I ran to Melvin's house, my uncle. I guess Jack knew where I was going, because shortly after that, I got there. The police surrounded the house and arrested me. Man, Dirk, this is bad. This is bad. Lawrence, you got to help me out. How can I help you out, Dirk? Tell me, how am I supposed to help you out? What we gonna do? Bust out of here and escape or something? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you want me to do? I need you to go by and talk to Jack and tell him what? Tell him I didn't mean it. I ate some of the food that was on my tray. I knew that I had to eat because there would be no more food given to us until the next morning at 6 o'clock. Dirk had the same thing in mind. I sat in silence for a little bit, thinking about the situation. Jack and Mac were identical twins. You could hardly tell them apart unless you had been around them, and I had all my life, teenage years. I met Jack at Woodrow Wilson High School. We were in the same gym class. He and Mac stood about 5'5", and they were built like pit bulls, strong and fast. Man, they could fight, and they could fight real good. I remember them fighting each other like mad dogs, seeing who was the toughest. Dirk, the older of the two by 1 year, was also a fighter too, and he would prove that he was the toughest of the brothers by fighting them both at the same time. That didn't happen often, but when it did, it was nasty. The Williams brothers, Dirk, Jack, and Mac, had a reputation around the neighborhood of being good fighters, and not too many people wanted nothing to do with them. I, on the other hand, became their friends. I didn't fight much and didn't have to after teaming up with the Williams brothers. I was the brains of the gang. Me, Mitch Bugs, Carl, Dirk, Jughead, Jack, and Mac. I had opportunities to commit a crime and pass it on, making the plans of how to do it and to do it, and to more importantly, how to get away with it. And we never got caught, or very seldom got caught. And if we did, we would lie our way out of it in most cases. Jack and Mac were inseparable. Wherever and whenever you seen one, you seen the other one. And they were so tight that if you got into a scuffle with either one, it was automatic that you had to fight them both and fight them both at the same time. They had a reputation of kicking butts. Not only could they fight real good, but what made them lethal weapon with their hands was that they were so quick and powerful. I seen them in action many a day, knocking the biggest man out or beating him down into submissiveness. They were like Rottweilers, all of the Williams, Dirk, Jack, and Mac. And once they got on you, they wouldn't let you go until you were bleeding into submission. And even then, they would make sure that you had no fight left in you. They took it as well as they gave it. They loved each other to the grave, and now the grave was real. Dirk, I'll talk with him, but I don't know what good it's going to do. You know, those boys really loved each other. I mean, the twins, man, this is messed up. I'm pissed off too, Dirk. I mean, I love you, but man, I can't make no sense of understanding this mess. But I'll do my best to talk to Jack. But to tell you the truth, I don't think it's going to do any good. Yeah, you may be right, but I'm going to try, Dirk. That's all I can do. I will talk to Jack. I appreciate it, Lawrence. What they got you down there for? Outstanding warrant. I should get out of here Monday with credit of time served. Yeah, you'll get out. You managed to keep yourself out of jail. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I just hope Jack understands. You killed his best friend, his twin. I don't know. We'll see. Lying back in my cell, I kept running. I kept running through my mind. How could Dirk kill his brother Mac? Trying to come to grips with it with no end in sight. For the life of me, I could not figure it out. Some things you just can't figure out. Some things just happen. Some things, no matter what you do, you can't fix it. Some things are just you just got to live with, and this is one of those things. After all, there's no coming back from the grave, at least as far as I knew, and the only one who did come back is Jesus Christ. Could it be that Jesus is trying to tell us something with all of this life and death stuff? People are dying every day, one way or another. Mac's death was murder. Nothing stranger, nothing strange in the ghetto. People die all the time, but when it's close to you, it gets your undivided attention. No matter what you may do or think, death will sooner or later get your attention. And now it had me in this classroom of learning. I don't think I'll ever pass the test. I went to court Monday morning and the judge gave me credit as we figured we would with time served. Later, I heard the call. Gray, the voice shouted out, roll him up. You're going home. The guard cried out in a loud voice. It's a high in itself when you've been in jail and the guard calls your name, letting you know that you're going home. Man, it's like a kid being let outside to play after being on punishment for a bad deed. You're all excited, and the people who are getting out with you are all excited. Even some of the people who are in jail get excited for you too. Can I leave my commissary? Don't have, didn't get none. Wasn't locked up long enough to have anything put on my books. So I didn't have any candy, chips, or cookies to give to anyone. That's the normal process when you get out of jail. Whatever you have in your cell, you leave it for the people in jail. After all, you'll be able to get some real food and have public access to whatever you desire. I handed in my linen, and as I walked down the hall to get my clothes, I seen Dirk one more time standing in the entrance of his jail cell looking at me, probably hoping that I could fix this situation as I always used to do when we were teenagers, hoping that I could somehow make things right between him and Mac, hoping that I could be his savior from the burning hell he was going through right there in that jail cell. I looked at him the same way he looked at me, with bewilderment and hope. I hoped that there was something I could say to console Jack. I was hoping that after talking to Jack, that everything would be all right. I knew that it would never be the same, but you can always hope. Thank you for tuning in. This is Reverend Lawrence Gray with Victory Lane. Join us next week as we continue the book, Three Pennies, From Hell to Heaven, page 173. God bless you. God keep you.